Pick the right AI and your business runs smoother. Pick the wrong one and you can be left picking up mistakes for weeks. The problem is most people don't really know which one to trust. Gemini and Claude both look powerful on the face of it, but when put to the test for business workflows, they can yield very different results. And so in this video, we'll run real world tests to see which one is actually worth your time and could actually save you 10 or more hours every week. First, we're going to go hard. We're going to test it on some messy data analysis to see which one performs better. We've got Gemini here in the black screen and Claude in the light screen here. They both look like your normal LLM setups. You've got deep research options on both. You've got canvas options on both. Claude runs automatically in what it calls artifacts in its side pane, where you can build documents and apps and that sort of thing. Gemini, you can select canvas. You might have to prompt Claude to actually open its sort of side canvas pane called artifacts. So for this first task, I've uploaded a spreadsheet of data to both of these platforms. This is keyword data for SEO, for search engine optimization. It's 4,000 keywords in the data, and I want both of these to sort through them and find me the best opportunity for an accounting business to improve their Google rankings. So we're going to use the prompt. Here's a data set from 4,000 plus keywords from SEMrush. Analyze it, find the highest commercial intent keyword clusters, show me volume, difficulty, intent, and recommend which clusters to prioritize. This is going to help us extract the data in both of these platforms and then work with it to build stuff and do further tasks for our business onwards. The final results from these are actually night and day different. Gemini took a bit of wrangling and didn't really come up with what I wanted compared to Claude. This is a brand new channel, and if you get anything from this video at all, do me a digital handshake, hit the subscribe button, and comment with where you are on your journey below. You can see it initially just gave me a list of sort of rough keyword volumes and average difficulty. Maybe it was my fault for not being that clear in my prompting, but actually Claude came out and actually built what I wanted in terms of almost building me an executive summary of an SEO strategy and finding the top options for us to start targeting in our business, in this accountancy business, talking about what tax service accountants, personal tax accountant keywords we should go after, HMRC tax accountant, and giving reasoning as to why these are top opportunities throughout, almost building us an SEO strategy off that short. You can see it went through and analyzed the data. Gemini didn't really do any of that. It just gave me this quick chart, which is fairly useless. Like, it doesn't really tell me anything. So then I tried to go a little bit further, tried to open up a chat and tried to wrangling it a bit further. It did then start to extract some keywords very quickly. Again, I was like, these aren't actually necessarily that helpful. Like, well, I don't really want to target terms and conditions for accounting services. So that was a bit of a dud from Gemini, whereas Claude absolutely went and smashed this first analysis task. On from this data analysis, I wanted to take things into coding and ask them both to actually code us an interactive SEO dashboard so that we could actually have an interactive report that we could show to clients, click through, and be able to sort of demonstrate things in a bit more interesting ways than just using a Google Doc. So I actually took the report, that the previous report and output that Claude had, and we used it in Google Gemini to build our dashboards so that we had an even footing on this coding task. And you can see they've both finished in literally a matter of minutes, actually less than a couple of minutes really for both of these to build out. Now you can see they've both written the code and built a preview of each of these dashboards. So what's cool is they both come out quite nice actually. We can probably publish Claude's actually and get the link and actually run that in a different window here to get the full screen view of this. You can see total keywords, total volumes, potential traffic. It's then broken down our keyword clusters or the pages we needed to build on our website. We can tab through, so I can select different tax service accountants, for example, potential 100 keywords to build on there, 42,000 traffic potential, which would be huge revenue if we started ranking well for them, average difficulty, and it's got the keyword clusters in there as well. It is interactive down the bottom here, showing the best sectors that maybe we should be going after. Over on Google Gemini, it works quite nicely. If we go, we've got this nice tabbed section, which is nicely built out, and it is nicely interactive in terms of being able to go through different options within priority clusters, potential traffic value over the long term, commercial score, and the keywords to be included in those areas, which is nice. Now, in this next area, I'm expecting Gemini to shine way above Claude. We're going to open up some fresh chats here to start again, because this is a particular thing to highlight between the two, is that Gemini has an image mode, and I want to be able to create a professional hardback mock-up for a lead magnet. So if I'm giving away free resources, potentially, I can actually create a nice image to go with them that make them alluring, or they could even be paid for resources as well. Now, the thing with Google Gemini is it has image mode. Claude, on the other hand, doesn't. So creating a professional hardbook mockup might be a bit tricky for Claude. We'll see how it reacts, like see if it can do anything. It's actually said it's going to try and do something in an interactive artifact. It's going to actually code. If you need visual stuff in Claude, it codes things up rather than actually generating an image. And it's actually quicker than ChatGPT does most of the time, which is really interesting. And it's done a really good job on this new website SEO launch playbook. I really like this. This is really good. It was way quicker than ChatGPT when I create these things. So yeah, that's done a really, really good job on that. I'm pretty impressed. Over on Claude, it's trying to code us up something. Hang on a minute. It's actually produced us an interactive piece of an interactive object for us. I'm really surprised at that. I was expecting Gemini to actually smoke us on the visual stuff, but Claude just codes its way around. That's one of the amazing things about that platform, I guess. If you're trying to code anything, Claude is still the leader in that. That was definitely a shock in what came out. Next, I would expect Gemini to win on this next one again because it's a deep research task. Both of these programs have deep research. You can see at the bottom there, we've got one there, and we've got research mode on Claude. And I want it to be our customer insight analysis. Your task is to tell me the key need and pain points of customers in my target market for local SEO. So local businesses who need SEO services. Using online reviews, customer forums, social media, tell me the most common needs and pain points, provide specific examples and frequencies for each. So we've got our research mode on. It's going to go and actually do that for us now. We've got exactly the same thing going on in Gemini, and we'll see who's quickest and who's best. So we've got the finished articles here from the research now, and they took just under 10 minutes for both of them, and built us a nice report. You can see Gemini's here is really long, in depth, big walls of text, and probably goes pretty in depth. We can see here we've got an executive summary. Local SEO is not merely seeking a set of technical tasks. They're looking for a definitive pathway to market discoverability, customer landscape needs and motivations. So we've got getting found and driving traffic, pursuit of credibility and trust. They want their brand to be consistently built with a credible trust positioning. We've got critical pain points, which is really what we want to focus on. Technical complexity. I like this little breakdown. Wasted effort, frustrating, giving up, loss of customer trust, loss of authority, duplicate content penalties. So this is a really, really long report. You can see all the sources. Whereas Claude over here has actually, I quite like the report it's built here that actually is broken down into the top customer pain points, which is what we really asked. Fake reviews and competitor manipulation. That's a real problem people are struggling with, is battling against fake reviews on their profile or against other people, other businesses, managing their Google My Business profile, getting them verified. I know that's a big problem. And again, we had this similar technical complexity and knowledge gaps, but I really like the way Claude has actually broken it out into really short, easy, digestible points and quotes for us. It's really easy to pick stuff out. So I'm really pleased with that. Depends on your style and what you want, but you can see they both actually do a really good job in terms of creating these reports. And I'm more report style, more actionable advice. And you've created something in Canvas, you've actually got this create button at the top where you can actually go and ask it to start building stuff, build a web page, infographic, quiz, audio, overview, or something else. Whereas Claude doesn't have that feature. You'd have to go and come up with what you wanted yourself. But we're actually going to take it to the next stage of what you'd be doing next in a business and say, you're a copywriter, write my marketing best messages based on this information, come up with 3 messages that could be used for social media, website copy, email marketing. So we're going to test them on some copywriting next and see how they perform and see what we can actually build. Maybe we'll go and try and build an actual web page based off some of the copy they're going to produce. So again, Claude off and running in its pain there. And over on Gemini, we've got our copy written already. Message 1, the problem solver approach. That's giving us our little approach. And this messaging focused on the core problem of being invisible, desire for more customers. It's written our social media, potential website intro copy, marketing emails as well. So struggling to get found on Google, your best customers are searching for you right now, but finding your competition instead. Our local SEO gets you seen so your business can grow. It's fine. Nothing incredibly different that you wouldn't find, but we probably didn't need to do research to actually find that piece of copy. Over on Claude, what have we got here? We've got local SEO messaging, trust and protection focus. We protect your business reputation and deliver honest local SEO results you can trust. It's a bit we focused rather than customer focused. Tired of competition sabotaging your Google reviews? Yeah, nice little playful little one there. our local SEO clients average, and we got some proof we protect. This is a bit more punchy and a bit nicer. Claude again has written a bit better at this point. I feel bit more punchy, bit more actually interest and directing to the customer pain points. We've got an email marketing. Why does local SEO feel so complicated? What was the? Yeah, I mean, Gemini's here. In today's market, your online reputation can make or break your business. It's pretty businessy, boring writing. Claude, quick question: have you ever read an SEO report and thought, "What the heck does any of this mean?" It's a bit more punchy and a bit more flavor to it, which I'm a much bigger fan of. So writing wise, like often you'll find in a lot of these models, Claude comes out really well when you give it enough information. So for me, that was a clear winner in this category. Claude beating Gemini on the writing and on the copywriting stage. Now, if we dig into some other features, then there's some stark differences depending on what you want to use these tools for. On Gemini, we have a set of functions on the side here. We have something called gems, and gems are like custom GPTs. If you've used Chat GPT, you can see here that they've got things like sentiment and an analyzer, analyze customer feedback, and an outreach specialist, copy creator, storybook, brainstormer. And basically, gems are custom versions of Gemini which give you tailored responses. So they've got pre-inbuilt settings to give you the same responses each time. So they're set up to do specific things. Whereas over on Claude, we've got a section called projects where you can give custom information and custom instructions. So you can see this one here. I've actually got an AI Elliot, which is you are a ghostwriter for Elliot Prince, and you can actually fill it with sources of information based on maybe my knowledge base, my expertise, stuff that I want to include in all the work we're doing here, and examples of LinkedIn posts I write, how I write blog posts, as well as other instructions. Whereas Gemini, you'd build that into the back end of one of these, create one of these gems. If you wanted to create your own one, you could do that in a very similar way. Now, Claude also has something called artifacts, which are kind of like a bit of app versus custom GPT versus those gems in Gemini. They kind of do those sorts of things. So you can actually build apps and launch them within Claude, which is cool. You can see some of them here. You can play little games, you can build little games, or you can actually build out different apps in there and different things that you can actually launch with Claude's interface working in them. So this is an AI psychology analyzer that I built that you can put Reddit posts and all sorts of things in here, and it's going to give you insight into the person's sort of deepest buying triggers and why they might buy your product. The other thing in Gemini which stands apart from Claude is video. You can actually use VO3 within Gemini itself, so you can bring ideas to life in an 8-second video, describe a scene and add details with like visual style and background music. We'll just run something here and see how quickly that actually works on a short prompt from something we were doing earlier. Generating your video can take 1 to 2 minutes. So while that runs, we'll talk through that quick rundown. Claude did a better data analysis. It actually handled the image prompt in a creative way to get us something pretty cool. And it actually did a better job copywriting, although maybe deep research on Google Gemini, it goes a bit deeper, but it didn't actually bring out the actionable information that we could actually take away like Claude did. So they're producing things in very different ways. I feel Claude actually brings stuff more proactively that is more actionable to us than Google Gemini. You can see it's video here for us, little promo for the AI SEO playbook. That's how quickly you can create a video in Gemini. And if you want to dig deeper into all of these AI models, then you can watch this next video here.